Don't be the one on the campground or in the hut who's telling everybody how it is and you know everything. Well, the point is you don't know everything, and you're never going to learn anything if you adopt that attitude. I mean, I'm an ex-carpenter, and when I had apprentices working with me, if they had a good idea, and they might have only been 15, 16 years old, and not much life experience, but if they had a good idea, I listened to it. We'd implement that idea together, and if it worked, it was great. And I think that's the attitude to have on the trail. Before you go on your hike, no matter whether that's a day hike or a multi-day hike, know the trail intimately. Know everything about it. Talk to people, look at maps, study that trail, and before you go on it, you know it intimately. And that's the only way to go. A really big one, which I got wrong in the beginning, is to have the map with you, any other location devices, your phone, and use them. The big one is to understand contours on the map. Now I'll give you an example. I was over east on the Great Ocean Road Walk. I started off from Melbourne. I caught the train down to Geelong, changed there, got onto a bus, and there was lots and lots of roadworks going down, and the Great Ocean Road itself is quite windy and narrow, and with these roadworks it took forever to get down there. I didn't get down there till about 1:30 in the afternoon. By the time I had a cup of coffee, got myself sorted out, it was around 2:30. And on my map, the first campsite I was going to, at Elliott Ridge, said 10 kilometres. I thought, well, as you know, round about, just under 4 kilometres an hour. Okay, that's going to take me, conservatively, 2.5 hours to get there. But it didn't work out like that. That 10 kilometres may as well have been 20 kilometres. It was that steep. It wasn't a mountain, but it was pretty damn close to it. And I nearly ended up getting there in the dark. It was just getting dark when I got there, and that was the last thing I needed. Because when it starts to get dark, you start to not panic, but you start to want to move faster because it's getting dark, you don't know where you are, and you tend to make mistakes, and that's when accidents happen. Now I learnt this one from a fellow in Scotland when I was on the West Highland Way walk, and his favourite saying every morning, and this is in the winter, was be bold, start cold. Now that's a few years ago, and I took that on board. I thought, well, after I tried it out, I thought that's a great idea, which basically means when you start off on your hike, don't, even though it may be cold, don't start off with all the layers on. You've got your base layer on, your next layer, your down jacket, and you may have your rain jacket on as well. Now when you have a heavy pack on, within 15 to 20 minutes, you're sweating badly. So that means those first 2 layers, even though they may be merino wool and they're wicking away, those first 2 layers are going to get soaked. And you're hiking in wet gear. And you don't want that. The best way is to start off with as least layers as you can. Start off with the very base layer, which in my case would be a t-shirt. Start off with that. If that's really too cold for you, start off with one more layer. Then after 15 to 20 minutes when you're warmed up, those layers are wicking away because you don't have outer layers on. Don't forget, when you start off with your base layer, if you do get cold, if you're still cold after 15 to 20 minutes, you can always start to add those layers back on because they're in your top of your pack. So you're utilizing those. Then obviously when you stop and it's cold, then you might get your puffy jacket out and keep yourself warm. So you can also, if it's just windy, you could use your rain jacket. The last thing you want to do is to have cold sweat next to your body, and it's gonna cool you down rapidly, particularly when it's a colder day. Something else that comes to mind, which I either read somewhere, someone told me about, it's not an original from me, but the more weight you have in your pack, the better you're going to enjoy your camping experience. The less weight you have in your pack, the more you're going to enjoy your hiking experience. So looking at that, to me it means I'm going to have to stay fit, keep fit, lose some pounds, whatever it takes, so that I can enjoy both of those experiences. I'm going to have to carry a bit more weight on my hike because I want to enjoy my camping experience as well, but I also want to enjoy my hike. That seems counterproductive now as I'm older, and I do want to carry less weight if I can. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That'd be great. Hike and Seeker signing out. Goodbye and take care.